Hi, I'm Kahil, and welcome to Full STEM Ahead Long Island. I'm at the Cradle of Aviation in Garden City for the annual Salute to Women in STEM. Today's episode is going to be out of this world. We're going to talk with a real live NASA astronaut, a college president, and students just like you. As hundreds of young ladies filled the theater, I spoke to Mariana.
I'm very excited to see how women are in STEM and how they can do everything that a man can do.
So are you interested in going into a STEM-related career?
Yes, I actually want to go into nursing.
I hear that you have a special connection to this place.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
My grandpa actually helped build the lunar module.
The lunar module transported the first astronauts to the moon. You can see a replica right here at the Cradle of Aviation. Brianna, a senior at the Meadowbrook Alternative Program, wants to go into forensic science.
I'm most interested in the crime scene investigator, solving clues and figuring out how the murder was done and how to solve it.
So are you taking classes right now to help you prepare for that kind of field?
Yes, I'm in chemistry right now to help with that.
That'll do it. Before hearing from former NASA astronaut Nicole Stott, Vaughan College President Dr. Sharon DeVivo discussed the field of aviation.
There has never been a better time to be in aviation. There is so much demand, particularly in the areas of pilots and aviation maintenance technicians. As a country, we will not produce enough to fit the demand, so there has never been a better time to want to be in this field.
There's also never been a more critical time to get girls interested in STEM.
Fifth grade is where girls start to drop off in math, and we're not sure why. We don't know if somebody whispers in their ear, you're not good at this, or if they just think, oh, I don't see a lot of girls, so let me go do something else. You know, if we can inspire girls to really find their voices and be courageous, then they don't do that mental gymnastics. They stick with what they love.
Someone that stuck with what she loved is Nicole Stott.
Armstrong is on the moon. Neil Armstrong.
I watched the moon landing. I always thought, this idea of flying in space and being an astronaut was really cool.
Right.
But I always thought astronaut was one of those special jobs that only other special people get to do. Why would I ever get picked? And it was while I was working at the Kennedy Space Center as a NASA engineer. I was there for about 10 years, and I finally started realizing, wow, 99.9% of what an astronaut does is not flying in space. It's a lot like what I was already doing as an engineer. And that at least gave me at least encouraged me to talk to people about potentially filling out the application.
Booster ignition and the final liftoff of Discovery.
I worked for NASA for 12 years as an engineer in one way or another before being selected as an astronaut.
I see.
And then in the year 2000, I was selected to be an astronaut, but it was still another 8 years before I flew in space. It's not a job you do because you think you're going to get to fly in space the first day you're hired. It's a job you do because you believe in what is behind it, what it's about, which is, improving life here on Earth. But it's something definitely worth waiting for, the space part of it.
I also understand that while you were in space, you had a couple of firsts up there, one of them being painting the first watercolor in space.
I did.
How is that different?
Just painting a watercolor in space would be a really beautiful way to describe what it's like to live in space.
Right.
Because, you're not dipping your brush in a cup of water because the water just floats like a ball.
Right.
And everything that you have is going to float, so you have to be very organized with what you're doing. Things just behave differently in other ways. Like even before I got the brush to touch the water, it's like it was attracted to it in some way. You kind of drag the colored water along the paper, because if you touch the brush to it, it just sucked all of it in at one time. There's so many things about it that were just different and really, I think, captured what it was like to be in that environment.
After the panel presentation, a few lucky ladies got a close encounter with Nicole Stott. How is this event for you today?
I really love coming to events like this, especially with the girls that were here today. I think young women at that age, they need to see us. They need our presence. They need to see the example. It is a see it, be it thing.
How do you take showers and use the bathroom? Frankly, I was wondering the same thing.
The questions were great. For these young women to know that there's a place like Vaughan in the area that can get them into aviation, which I highly recommend, I'm happy to be here supporting it.
Today's experience has Cheselyn thinking about a career in aviation.
I never really thought of myself as doing it, but like it's something that I've always been interested in. Since I've been coming here for so long, I've seen so many women in the field and like all the possibilities.
I'm Carmen and I'm from Kellenberg.
Well, after today's panel and hearing the astronaut speak, did you learn anything interesting?
I definitely learned that, you know, even though you don't know what you want yet, like what you want to do for the rest of your life, as long as you love what you want to do and what you're doing, that's all that matters.
After hearing those responses, for Nicole Stott, it's mission accomplished. To find out how to launch your career in STEM, visit listemhub.org.